Hello everybody, this is Empyrion Galactic Survival. I found this game when I was looking for alternatives to No Man's Sky. I've tried this one and another game called Grav, both of which are very good. They have a lot of things going for them. Not quite what No Man's Sky is promising to be, but I think they weren't trying to be. So what we'll do is we're going to have a quick go of Empyrion. I will just show you how things start really, and quickly describe the gameplay. So here we go. I'm going to click a new game. What you can see here is we've got the name of the game mode, a bit like Minecraft and things like that. We've got survival and creative mode, so we can choose creative, and then there's bases, and we can just build whatever we want. I struggle to find that an enjoyable mode these days, because there's just no challenge in it. Here we have the seed, so we can change this and it will change where things are around the planet. And then the planet name is Akua, but there's also Omicron. I've been adding an N for no reason. Omicron, which is a slightly harder planet to play on, just because there's there's low oxygen, so you need to wear your helmet all the time, and the little beasties are a little bit more aggressive. So we're going to start on Akua. So as you can see, it's a temperate planet with vast oceans, volcanic islands and large continents with mountain ranges. It's got a breathable atmosphere. The average temperature is 23 degrees and the gravity amounts to 0.84 G, so it's a little bit lighter than Earth, but still heavy enough to kill you if you jumped from too high. So let's start this game. So it takes just a little while to load, and you get these nice little postcards with little tips on them. So here we are, we're on Akua. So as you can see, a nice lush green landscape with beaches and dinosaurs. And then this is your escape vessel, your survival pod. So on this we have a few different things to note. So there's the cockpit there. So if we jump into there, we can turn it on and off with the Y button. T is to access anything. Then we've got the fuel tank. We've got the constructor, which is where we build things. And then we've got our cargo boxes. So we open this one. This one's got plants and grow boxes. We don't need those yet. And this one has all of our resources. So I'm just going to hold down shift and click on those to move them all over to my inbox, over to my inventory, or I could have used this arrow and moved them all at once. So you'll notice the thrust that the escape pod's taken a bit of a battering. Still got a good thruster back here. It's a good word, isn't it? And more cargo boxes. So let's just check in these ones. So this one's got good stuff. And this one also has good stuff. You'll notice that the ship moved before, so I'm going to assume something's nudged it. Here is that guy. They are generally passive, but if you attack them, they'll attack back. Okay, so also we have our oxygen tanks, and we have the O2 station. Now, one thing to note here is that my jetpack is turned off. You can see this in the bottom left hand side, but my helmet is on. So if I press U, because I'm on an oxygenated planet, there's no point in having my helmet on all the time. It would just waste oxygen. Right, so now what we've got is we've got in our inventory fuel, so we're going to fire up the fuel tank and add in the fuel pack. So if I hold down shift and click it, it just adds them all for me. And then what I want to do is I want to exit there, go up one, and then enter the constructor. So I'm going to hold down shift while I click on the items that I want to move over to the constructor. So I'm going to move all of these manufacturing items. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now those are in there, I have some construction options. The first thing we need to do is construct a few more fuel packs, because if they run out, we are royally boned. The next thing we need to do is to start building things so that we can build a decent gun, so we could sort out some of these wee dinosaurs near us. So for this, as you can see in red, the input items are metal components 5 and electronics 1. I'm also going to need metal pieces for the bullets. It also tells me which kind of bullets it takes, which is the 6.8s, which are there. So I need to build metal components and electronics. If I hold down shift, it gives me 10 of the item I'm putting in. So I've set all of those. Now you'll notice nothing seems to be going on. So I can press Y to turn the construct. If I'm closer to it, hold on. Thanks to that dinosaur that I'm nowhere near it. So I could press Y to turn the constructor on, but without turning the main power on, that will still do nothing. So to turn the main power on, I need to get into the cockpit and press Y. And now you can see it started to build those. So that's just going to take a few moments. So while that's doing, why don't we see if we can upset one of these dinosaurs. So I'm going to upset this one because I know I can take him down with a pistol. So he's coming right for me. And now I've run out of bullets, so I'm just reloading. And he's dead. Extinct like the rest of them. Okay, so once you've killed him, you get meat from the dinosaurs. As you can see, it's food 70, health minus 15. It's raw, perish time 19, so that counts down, and then eventually it turns into spoiled food which you can't eat, and stamina minus 50, so it's going to actually do me a little bit of damage to eat this, but if I'm starving it's worth doing. Until we can build a food processor, that's what we just have to do. So let's see where our builds are up to. So we've built the power packs, which is good because we need those. If we run out of power, we are stuffed. Without power, we can't build anything, which means that the game is effectively over. So, just every so often, I'll just add a few more of those into the mix. So once this is finished building the electronics and the components, I will then build the assault rifle, and then we'll start on building a base. So another thing we have in our inventory, and I'll just move down to the water for this, is the oxygen generator here. So what we do is if you hold down shift and click it, it moves it directly into your usable bar. But then what you need to do is place this in the water. So as you can see, if I try and place it on land, it will let me, but it won't produce any oxygen. So you find the right spot, it's nice and blue, you place it. And then what we can do is we go to the device, hit T, and then we can add in some power cells. So I can hold down shift and fill it up, or I can pick them up and just add a few. I'm not really too bothered about oxygen at this point because I'm not flying yet and not going into space, so I will just put a few in and let it do that, so that I end up with a small stock of oxygen. Also, that will probably be the location for my base, since it's nice and easy to get to the oxygen supply. Another thing to note here is that there are lots of flora that are collectible, so plants. So these fibre plants are collectible. There's those cobra leaves over there are collectible. There's also cave beans, which are effectively coffee. And then there's these little fruits on the floor which are good eating. I think they're called akua fruits, but also there is corn dogs, which they look like bulrushes. You can see some over there. You can eat them and they don't do you any harm. They're not the greatest food source, but they'll do in a bit of a bind. So let's just go grab a few here. Now these foods don't stack, so you have to be careful not to harvest too many at once, otherwise you'll end up with an inventory full of fairly useless food. So to So it just carves a hole in the land and then just take the resources as they come out. So we finished building all the bits to put our gun together. So let's build our assault rifle and let's take 20 sets of bullets. So they're 25 bullets a piece, so that's 500 bullets. Sorry, my maths was failing me. And then after that we will start to build up our base. So to build the base, the first thing we need is the base starter. Now some people recommend building a hovercraft first to get around the land quicker, but me personally, I like to fly, so I build my base quickly and then I use this escape pod to make a small vessel, which is basically a plane or spaceship. So this thing here is the core. Cores are required for any vessel and base. When you go into the alien bases, say the drone bases, they will have a core as well. Once you remove that core, the base is then no longer active. So after that we need to build hull blocks, but as you can see, metal plates is readied out, so we need to build metal plates first, which are here. So I'm going to hold down shift because we're going to want a fair few of those. So I'm just going to set for 20, but this is actually not 20, it's 200, so it might be a bit too many for me, but I'll take a look at that a bit closer to the time. Also, just worth noting that while you are just on a pistol, I really wouldn't piss off these guys, as they don't go down easily. And with the new patch, I think once you respawn, they'll probably still come and kill you again. Okay, so we have some bullets and we have an assault rifle now. So now we could look at taking out one of those Triceratops dinosaurs. Just going to get a few more bullets first, and then we'll pop a cap in his arse. Okay, so this may not go well. Got my jetpack on. Okay, let's do it. Need to reload first. Oh, that one's running away. Usually they run toward me and attack. Okay, no idea where he went, so like a bad hunter I'm just going to leave my wounded quarry to go away. Now attacking him would be folly, because too close. Let's try this one. Okay, so now he's dead. but I have an open wound, so I'm going to have to find a med kit. So I do have a small med kit in my inventory, so I'm going to try one of those and see whether that will do. Normally you need a larger med kit for open wounds. Okay, looks like that's worked, so it's sealed off the wound, so I'm not going to lose health anymore. When you've got an open wound, you do just lose health until, well, you know, until you pop your clogs. And just to point out, it isn't actually worth hunting those dinosaurs yet, because I don't have a fridge or a food processor, so most of this meat will just go rotten. So as you can see, this one's perish time 19, and the ones I got before are perish time 16, so it's already counted down 3. I'm just removing the metal pieces from the queue so that the bullets will stop producing and we can start producing metal plates, so we can get on with the base building. Okay, so as you can see, metal plates have a much faster build time. It's 7 seconds per set, whereas the pieces were, oh, they were 7 seconds as well. There just seemed to be more of them. That's because I wasn't building pieces, I was building bullets. The bullets had a 21-second craft time, so 3 times slower. As you can see, these count 10 per thing, so each time I do it, it goes up by 10. The whole blocks take 2, so with some complicated maths you can work out you get 5 per set. It wasn't really complicated, that was sarcasm for non-English people. So with this, we have the core already, so then we need 8 hull blocks. So if I hold down shift, it's going to stick 10 in the queue, but that will make me a really tiny base, so I'm going to stick another 20 on top. So I'll have 22 hull blocks to build out my base with, and then what we'll do is we'll start building the things that need to go into the base. So the basic things would be a large constructor, a small generator, and a fuel tank. And then we'll stick some lights around as well, just because once it gets dark, it gets really dark. And I'm scared of the dark. I'll just show you guys the oxygen generator again now, since it's been running for a while. So we get close enough to access it, hit T, and as you can see it's produced 4 oxygen bottles. So I just pop those in my inventory. It's still got 6 power packs, so it's going to be running for another 2.5 hours, or 2 hours 43 minutes, producing a bottle every minute and a half or so, I think. But yeah, so you just generally leave that and forget about it, and then come back to it when you actually need them, which won't be for quite a while. So just on the escape pod, the parts that we need to keep on here are the cockpit, the generator, the player faction core, the fuel tank, the constructor, and the thruster. So the oxygen side of it's not really that important. What we will need to build to make it into a small vessel is a RCS. I don't think this constructor's only capable of building them for a hovercraft, but this is what allows you to use your directional thrusters. And without that, we can only go forwards. So we'd need to build that, and then we'd need to build 5 directional thrusters, one for every direction other than straight forwards, because we use a proper thruster for that. So we need up, down, left, right, and back, and yeah, backwards. So the backwards one goes on the front end of the ship, or forwards. Now, at the moment, it doesn't matter whether these get blocked or not, so you can build over them. You could just splodge it all together and not really worry about the aesthetics if you wanted to. So we've got enough to build our base starter, so I'll just stick that in the queue. This will take a little while to build, 16.8 seconds apparently. And then we can go and start constructing our base, but what we'll also do is we'll just see what else we need to build these things. So we need computers, control devices, cables, motors and pipes, and we also need reactor core and capacitor devices. So let's build a few of these. So cables, pipes, we always need metal components, some control devices, a couple of motors, a couple of capacitors. Now, I know there won't be enough to build these things, but my hope is that I've left enough there to get through most of it. So what we'll do is we'll take the base cube and these, and we'll go and start building a base. Now, we're going to build it near to the oxygen generator just because it makes it easier for harvesting that later, and also because it means we don't have to flatten the land if we build the base over water. So again, if I hold shift when I click on the item, it goes straight into my my use bar. I'm going to do the same for those blocks, and then we close that. So as you can see, it's a red square because that's not a good place to put it, and then it goes blue. So there we go, I've added the base. It's actually fairly important to make sure you've got your assault rifle before you do this, because as soon as your base is up, you can be attacked by drones. And drones are good for collecting a fair few resources off. Well, not resources as such, but they give you crafting materials, like glass plates, metal plates, motors, things like that. So it's, yeah, they're kind of like that, but they do shoot at you. So now I'm just going to put my helmet on to go back out into the water. So this part of the game is a bit Minecraft-esque, really. There are different whole blocks you can use. There are interior ones that are available, and there are shaped ones. So you can get rounded ones, and you can get ramps and stairs. So that's enough base really just to start off with. So it's still building away through pipes and then cables, metal components, control devices. So it's going to be a while before we're going to get to be able to build the things. So let's go and pick on some more helpless animals. So that's what you really need to do, is to attack these guys from a distance. Again, you can pick up these, you can pick up a fair few of the things as you go around. I've still not found the aloe vera plant myself, which is the major ingredient to a medical kit. Also, make sure you remember to reload your rifle, because you never know when you're going to need it. when the sun goes down, first night is usually when the slime monsters and the plant monsters start to come out. Now they are aggressive and will attack you if they see you. The plant monsters seem to have a wider range for aggression. You can walk quite near to the slime monsters without them detecting you. But yeah, the plant monsters become very annoying very quickly. You'll see we've also got work light here. What we can do is we can put that down just over here so that we can see our vessel when it gets dark. Okay, so we're going to place the work lamp. Now, using the insert home, page up, page down, end and delete key, we can move it around to different angles to suit our need. I don't think gravity is actually a problem here, so it will float if you wanted it to. So I think that's probably where we're going to want it. So let's move over here so that it's going to be facing the ship. There we go, so that'll give us a bit of light to work on at night. So as you can see, construction has stopped, and this is because we've run out of something. I think it's power cells, so let's just check the fuel tank. And as you can see, the fuel tank isn't lit up, so it has run out of power. Luckily we built some, so let's fill that up, and away we go. We're back online. So if we didn't have those, we would just have to restart the game because you can't construct them anywhere else yet. It's going to be a corn dog. Maybe I'll have another one. And maybe I'll have a piece of fruit as well. Get my 5 a day. And you can see over there an orange light, that's the slime monster's eye. There he is. Was. So I'll just reload my rifle because there's bound to be more of them around. Because they are unfriendly little creatures. I'm going to stop collecting the meats off them though because there is no point. The alien tooth we can use for something later. So let's just check how our construction is going. So we're nearly there. We've at least got the ingredients to build computers. Let's see if we're going to run out of anything before we get there. Control devices, metal components, cables. Yeah, we'll run out of cables long before that. So you can either hunt these guys through the night, or if you've not managed to get your weapon, weapons ready by the time nightfall comes, you can just hide in the cockpit and wait out the night, which is a fairly long night. You can see on the map it's only just gotten dark. So it says the time there, 7:16. So yeah, we've got a fair old way before it gets light again. Time time until sunrise is 10 hours 32 minutes. These aren't real hours, but it's long enough. So we can build the fuel cell now. Still a few things short for the other two items, so we'll just have to wait for that. As you could probably have noticed there, I accidentally left my helmet on from earlier, which has used up a fair bit of oxygen. What I'll just do while I'm waiting for the construction to finish, I'm just going to run over here and see if I can discover some promethium. It is so much easier when you have the small vessel ready. Right, it's not discovering anywhere nearby there, so I'm going to go back to the base, because it shouldn't take long now for the stuff to have finished building. So right now I'm holding down shift and sprinting, which uses up your stamina, but as you can see you move a bit quicker. Okay, so our construction queue is now empty. That means we've built the things we need to build. So let's get one of these on the go. And then I need 2 computers and 2 capacitor devices to get my power generator up and running. As if I don't run out of metal components, because I don't really have many of those. So the constructor's now built, so I'll move that into my inventory, and then we'll go and place that on the base and come back for the other bits. In fact, let's just check. Yeah, we are going to run out of metal components. So I think that's everything we're going to need in there, so we'll just leave that as it is. And I'll go and pop this constructor onto the base. So when you're laying out your base, just do be mindful that you need to be able to access these things. So at first, just stick them around the edges and things, but then you will later be adding on to the base. So we have no power, so we can't actually do anything with the constructor yet. So let's go back and see where we're up to. So we're in kind of dangerous territory here because we haven't got any fuel cells in stock, fuel packs in stock. So if we were to run out now, it wouldn't be good. We'd have to go and reclaim the ones from that fuel tank that I've just added them to, and possibly the oxygen generator if there's any left. But like I've said a couple of times, you lose the cell or the fuel packs and it is game over at this stage of the game. Graphically, I find the game runs better when you're in first-person mode. When you're in third-person, it can be a bit juddery, and sometimes the camera gets stuck in various places. Don't forget that this game is in pre-alpha, so they are by no means near ready. There doesn't appear to be any major bugs in the game. I've not managed to crash it. Although when I do close the game, it never closes properly. It always comes up with a little "didn't shut down properly," but it's not an issue. One thing that it's worth pointing out is that the save game system is it's an auto save method. So what you do is you hold down escape. You can save manually when you want to, but just do remember when you get in or out of a ship, it's going to save. So you might think you've saved and that you're ready to go off and have some adventure and try something crazy, but it will save over it. The way we get around this is we what do we do? Oh yes, when we're not in the game, once we're on the main menu and we go to load a new game, load into resume the game, you can then back your save up there and also rename them, so then just make a backup or two and rename it to whatever you want to. Yeah, like about to attack enemy base or something like that. Okay, so one of the things I use lots of in this game are these portable work lights. They're nice and cheap to build, so let's just go to that. So, just pop that here, and it lights up a nice area there. and one there, and we've got a fair amount of light coming from those two. So I generally build about 10 of them around the base and then have a few on hand to carry with me when I go mining and things. It's just easier when you can see what's around you. Hopefully they'll add something like night vision goggles into the game later, but until now you just need these little lights everywhere. Also build a light for on the base, or two. So we have our generator. The next thing we're going to do is, just while we remember, let's get a load of fuel packs built up there. And let's take those two lights I built as well. Okay, so we have all the things we need to start this base running. So then we just hit T. No, we don't. We hit Y, and that fires the base up. So it's now using the power the power cells in there, and the lights are on, and we've got the big constructor, which we'll need to go and get all the raw ingredients from the other one to then start building our ship. So, like I said before, all we need for this ship, because we've already got most of the raw ingredients there, is we need this RCS, and then we need some directional thrusters. We may need to replace the main thruster as well, but I don't think we do. Okay, so I'm going to leave the Promethean tabs in here so that they can continue to build the power packs. I'm going to take those ones just so I've got some. And I'm going to take all the raw ingredients out of here and move them over to my other place. But as you can see, I've run out of space because of all this meat. So I'm just going to swap over to my inventory. And I'm actually going to trash a load of the meat because it isn't worth keeping. Okay, that should do. Now, unlike the other windows, this one does not have a move all option, so you can only move the things one at a time, but the shift button does help in moving them quicker rather than having to drag them and drop them. So again, with the shift button, just move everything that's building based into here, so all the crafting materials and elements, yeah, sounds like the right word. All the elements are now in there. So as you can see, we can build our RCS, so let's get one of those in the queue. We can't build our thrusters yet because we need more electronics, so we will also need more motors. So we've got 3 of those. How many do they take each? They take 1 motor, so we're going to need another 2 motors, and then we'll need a bunch of electronics. So I'll add them. Do we think 10's enough? How many do they take each? These things generally tend to take quite a lot. So 5 metal components, 6 electronics. So 5 times 6 is 30. So we need 30 electronics. What we're going to have here, we're going to have another 20 on top of there. 5 motors, 30 electronics, 25 metal components, 15 cables, and 25 pipes. So we're going to need more pipes, more cables, more components. So let's get those on the build. Hopefully that will be enough. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then also what we want to build is under the weapons and tools, we want the remove and repair tool. Now this is essential to this game. It's great when you're looting the enemy bases. That's what you use to sort of break down the base into components. So if you ever come across any of the advanced power generators and things, you take out the CPUs and things with it, so it's very useful. So that's just going to take a few minutes to finish building. So we're going to stick our RCS on. So at the moment, because we don't really have any, we don't have our removal tool yet, we will just be dropping things on quite messily. But it's not really a problem, because once you've got the removal tool, it gives you the main components back if you take them off again. So once we've got that, we can then just rebuild them when we need them. So I've added that now. So that's rotational control system, I'm guessing. It may say in there what the RCS stands for, I don't think it does. Reaction control system. Applies torque for turning. So yeah, a lot of this game you will be waiting for things to finish building. I think that RCS is actually enough to give us the ability to move this ship. So we may be able to move a little bit closer to our base. Now we don't want to move too fast, because otherwise we'll just damage the base or damage the ship. Also, let's not forget that we've got a lot of... we were building things in this constructor, so we've got some fuel packs. Oh, come on, build faster. And as you can see down here, my food level has dropped again. So you do have to keep on eating food. I'm going to try eating some raw meat And I've given myself food poisoning, so that's not good. So while I've got food poisoning, I might as well eat some more and fill up. You do also have emergency rations, which I suppose would have been a more logical choice of food, but let's just eat some more of this nastiness and then go back into my inventory and see what we've got. I've got antidote pills, or my small med kit, so and that didn't help, so yeah, when I get a chance I will... Oops, we've run out of fuel. No, we haven't. I must have hit the off button by accident there. So I'll just top that up so we don't run out of fuel, because we're so close to building our... or getting our ship off the ground. So we need 2 more pipes and 1 more electronics. So I'm just going to remove the fuel pack so that I don't keep building those charges, because I don't need too many of those just yet. For the purpose of this video, I probably don't actually need any at all. But now let's get this final thruster. Okay, we've got 5 thrusters now, so we've got all our directions covered. We've got fuel. So what I'm going to jump on top of this. So I'm going to drag them across to there. Now, we need left, right, up and down, so let's just check that. So that's those 3 directions sorted, and then we need the down one, so we need the one that's going to propel us up. Although it doesn't actually need to be logically underneath, I sort of like to have it that way. So I'm just going to stick it under there. So which direction am I missing? That's the one I haven't got backwards. So I'm just going to stick that one on here. You do notice pretty quickly when you haven't got a certain direction. There we go, we've got all our directions on there now. Let's just check we've got some fuel. Let's top it up. Let's see if we can fly. Okay, so let's power up. Okay, so we can fly, but we don't have the control with the spacebar, which allows us to but then let's just take this into space and then I will show you the planet from there, and that'll be the end of the video. So as you can see, distance to orbit 250 meters or miles. I think they're meters. Other things you can stick on the ship are lights and weapons, but we don't need them just for now. So we're now leaving the atmosphere. We've broken 3, and the gravity is now decreasing. So I'll just pop my helmet on and turn my jetpack on, and now we're at 0 gravity. We're now out of the planet's pull. So there you can see Akua, Omicron. There's the asteroid belt. There's a little science place over there. Some more planets and moons. So what we can do now is we can exit the ship and take a look around. So I'm not quite sure why my spacebar wasn't working to allow my ship to go up. So I'm just going to test that one. Work. Maybe it just wasn't getting enough lift. But anyway, that's my video. I hope you've enjoyed it. The game is available on Steam. It's Empyrion. I think it's £15 on early access. It's very much worth having. Thank you very much.